Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be walking you through the theory of change and logic model for the Child and Youth Program at United for Literacy. So this logic model I'm about to show you operates from the theory that if children and youth from marginalized communities are provided with the appropriate educational and literacy support, they'll be able to reach their full potential through the power of literacy. So at the micro level, that will lead to children and youth experiencing improved academic outcomes, achieving their literacy goals, and becoming lifelong learners. At the macro level, these impacts will be seen with reduced poverty levels and overall healthier and happier communities. Overall, United for Literacy operates from the belief that any place can be a learning opportunity. They deliver programs anywhere they're invited to, which can involve a school, a community center, a shelter, and really anywhere so they can improve literacy in communities across Canada. All the programs are delivered completely free of charge to give anyone and everyone the ability to reach their full potential. So here we have the logic model we're going to be walking through today. We'll be looking at what is being input, the activities that are being run, the outputs being generated, and the outcomes that are being achieved. The target group for the organization and their theory of change are children and youth who live in underserved urban areas and youth who have low levels of literacy. The programs are open to anyone who may need them, but they do try to focus on groups who may need a little bit more support, such as Indigenous learners and newcomers to Canada. The inputs of the program involve the staff who are planning and running the program, so the program coordinators and the volunteer tutors. Then we have the referral partners who are actually referring learners to the program. This can involve a school, shelters, libraries, and other nonprofit organizations. Although most of the learners are referred in, they also can sign up independently without a referral. To actually run the programs, materials are needed, and that includes books, technology, worksheets, and school supplies. Additionally, space is needed, which could involve a classroom or an online platform. All the programs are operated with diversity, equity, and inclusion frameworks built in and operate from a student-centered individualized learning philosophy, meaning that the learners actively choose what they want to learn and what they want to get out of the program. Since all the programs are free, funding is required for them to run, and all programs run for at least 1 hour each week. The overall program time can fluctuate each week depending on what programs were run and the time of year, as some are only run during the school year and others are only run during the summer break. For the activities being run and their outcomes, the first one is recruitment and matching. So here's where learners are actually being recruited for the program. After recruitment, a learning profile will be created with the learner to determine what they're looking to get out of the program in order to cater the support provided to them. After the learning profile is complete, they will be matched to a program. Through recruitment, the output created will be the amount of new learners that are being recruited and the number of learner profiles being created. Another output will be the number and percentage of learners who are being matched to the program and the number and percentage of learners who are recruited but do not end up getting matched to a program. Another activity is the one-on-one support provided by a volunteer tutor. This would involve working with the learner to create a learning plan, determining what their goals and desired program outcomes are, as well as conducting in-person and/or online tutoring. The outputs generated would include the number of learning plans created, the percentage of new learners with a completed learning plan, the actual number of tutoring sessions being completed, and the percentage of learners who are attending weekly. For the group support, this would involve group tutoring sessions, which can be in person or online, reading camp, homework club, and recreational activities. The outputs for group support would involve the actual number of group tutoring, reading camps, and homework clubs that are being held, the number of learners that are attending each one, and the number of repeat learners attending, the number of books that are given out, and the number of games and activities that are being run. A big part of the Child and Youth Program is ensuring the organization is completing ongoing improvement, which will include gaining feedback from current learners as well as learners who previously attended programming. So this can involve conducting surveys with learners, parents, and teachers. And overall, those will lead to improvements being implemented in programming. The outputs from this would involve both the number of surveys being completed as well as the percentage of learners who are completing them relative to how many are attending programming. Another output would be the number of improvements being recommended or implemented, which are outlined in an annual Child and Youth Program report. For the short-term outcomes of the program, they want learners to increase their levels of literacy as well as show improvement in what they planned in their learning plan. So this could include their reading, writing, or math, and to show an overall increase in their interest in learning. From the group programming, the short-term goals are for children and youth to show increased confidence, have a better idea of what they want their future to look like, and have an increased sense of community. For midterm outcomes, the program aims for learners to enhance their performance in school, achieve their literacy goals, which could include completing school or gaining qualifications for employment. Other midterm goals are for learners to show increased confidence about their future and be able to create a social network within both their school and their community. Looking at long-term outcomes, the program would like to create lifelong learners, equip learners to make higher incomes and reduce the poverty rate. They also have the long-term goal of creating healthier communities who have an overall enhanced quality of life. Through achieving the short-term, midterm, and long-term outcomes, the program aims to achieve the ultimate outcome of people and communities reaching their full potential through the power of literacy. Although the outcomes being achieved would be ideal, there are assumptions in place that we need to keep in mind when looking at this model. So considering that all the programs are delivered completely for free, for this model to work, we have to operate with the assumption that there's enough funding and that funding will not be cut. So the programs will continue to run long term. We're also assuming that the tutors are sufficiently trained to meet the needs of learners and that learners will be attending programming for a minimum of 1 time per week. We're also assuming that the referral partners are actually aware of the program and are referring those who could actually benefit from it. Alongside those assumptions, there's also the risk that funding could actually be cut, leading to programming being cut. And considering that the program runs on volunteer tutors, there could also be a lack of volunteers to deliver the programs. And finally, although the program is aimed toward marginalized groups, this could lead to some learners not applying as they think they don't meet the criteria for the program. However, in reality, there's actually no criteria for who can attend the program, as programs are student-centered and learners are the ones who decide what they want to learn, and we try to meet them where they're at. So that is the theory of change and logic model for the Child and Youth Program run by United for Literacy. Please let me know if you have any questions or any feedback. Thank you. Bye.